I gotta get that. I'm gonna go to the.
This is gonna be a problem. All right, welcome to Talk Lately. Technical difficulties, but we're here. We're live, and we're here with you. I don't know when. A lot of stuff to discuss. It's been a very important weekend, and I'm joined today with Nyiah, Nate of the Artist Exchange, and then we have Mecca on the phone, and we have Lyndsay Marie on the phone.
Hello.
Who knows where Nate is going? So let's ask him to mute or whatever. We can talk about this mattress it got on his face. But did you put that on so that you could show that you are social distancing and following precautions before we went live?
I'm very safe, and me and my road dog, we are very safe.
Who are you with? That's that question.
We just did a road trip today. We just went on a road trip.
I said who?
Say hi.
Hi. Who is that? What's your name?
That's my friend Shayna. My friend Shayna. My little sister Shayna.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sister Shayna.
Hey,
welcome to the show. Uh-oh.
Hey, Mac.
You can tell there's no 5G.
She said hi, Mecca.
Mecca.
That's my boo. I said hey.
Oh, okay. You heard him.
You heard me. That's what she responded. She responded to me.
Oh, okay. Sure. Anyway, so let's get started. So we got to discuss the killing of George Floyd over the weekend. So I want to show a video first. It's very graphic. I'm sure you've probably seen it all day, but we have to do it for the sake of the broadcast now. And show it.
I breathe in the wrist. I cannot breathe. You just a grown. You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, huh? I think you're a tough guy. You're not even resisting the rest, bro.
His whole nose.
You don't fight with him, bro. But why you just sitting there? He ain't doing nothing. Y'all put him in the car.
How long y'all gotta hold him down?
Why would you be drunk, kid? It ain't about drugs, bro. Y'all understand that?
Y'all don't gotta put on his neck, right?
He is human, bro.
His nose is
What I'm saying, you can put him in the car. That's a bum ass shit. That's some bum ass shit, bro. That's some bum ass shit, bro. Y'all know that. You don't gotta sit there with your knee on his neck, bro. Bro, he ain't crying. Bro, you just got back out here, bro. Bro, he doesn't have it, bro. He's not fucking moving.
No, do they fucking kill him, bro?
Bro,
They
bro,
kill him
what
or
is you,
something?
1087, bro? You're a
Oh
bum,
my
bro, or
God,
987, bro? You're a bum.
was this
First thing you
alive?
want to grab is your mace because you scared, bro. Scared of fucking minorities, you fucking bum, bro. Like, bro, 3 minutes, bro. He's not fucking moving. Bro, he's not even fucking moving. Get off of his fucking neck, bro. Get off of his neck. Yes, look at that, bro. Are you serious? Bro, are you serious? And you gonna keep your thing on your neck? Yeah, I bet you. Bro, I bet you touch me like that, dude. I swear I'll slap the fuck out of both of y'all.
I didn't want to call the ambulance.
Bro, you just gonna let him keep his hand on his neck, bro? You're a bitch, bro. How you gonna let him keep that like that? You gonna let him kill that man in front of you, bro? Huh?
Like what?
Bro, he's not even fucking moving right now, bro. He's not even fucking moving, bro.
Wow.
So I know everybody here has seen the video at this point. So where's your head at? Let's start with Nyiah.
Oh God, so many words. I'm just so angry because it's like we just went through the killing with Ahmaud. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Avery. We just went through the killing with him, and here we go with this. So I just feel like the phrase Black Lives Matter, in reality, it really does not matter because they still constantly are killing us off. If it's not the corona, then it's the police. I feel like when it's enough is going to be enough. I'm so angry. I'm so angry because I'm like, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, yo, what if that's my kids? What if that's one of my boys? What if that, if it's my kid's father? What if it's some, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like we don't have any justice. We don't have any. I'm just angry. It's a lot. That's a lot.
But you had to listen to what he was saying. The officer was saying. It was almost as if, like, he was getting back at him, resisting. And after you had him in the hole, you could have simply put him in the back of the car or something. But
and
it
if
was
you watch,
almost like he wasn't even paying attention to what he was doing.
But if you watch the officer, the demeanor, he didn't care. He did not care. He sat on that man's neck and was like, okay, well, whatever. And that man kept saying, I cannot breathe. Stop moving. I can't because I cannot breathe. Oh, well. Like, he did not have no type of remorse. He had no type of feeling. All you saw in that man's face was like, I don't give a fuck. If you die, it is what it is. Like, he did not care. That just...
At this point, I'm more afraid for myself to be a bystander. Because I don't feel like I could stand there and watch that happen. Like, I feel almost more afraid to be a bystander than to actually be that person that's being arrested or being abused in that way.
Right, but as soon as towards the last moments of him dying, they was like, that man is dying, get off his neck. Did you see him, the police officer, grab his mace? Like, are you serious? You're gonna kill the man, you're gonna mace everybody else?
You can hear him gasping for air. That was so scary. Like, you could hear him. They were that close, so you can hear him, like, taking really deep chest breaths.
Yes. And then when they moved him, all you saw was the side of his face just on the ground. Like, he was so lifeless. And I'm sitting here like, and then the officer like, and after they found out he was dead, and they checked his pulse, and they found out that this man is dead. That man still had his knee on his neck.
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
Because it becomes personal to them. It's not even about their job beyond that point. And we talked the last couple of weeks about when I brought up the force continuum, like, he jumped over so many of them to get to brutal force. But
for forgery, you killed that man for forgery? Is that serious?
I don't even know what did you do. What happened?
It said, so I was reading the article and it said something about forgery. It basically, that's the reason why they contained him, was for forgery, is what I read. Okay. But I don't know, Monty may have a different version, but that's the version that I read. And I just feel like it doesn't matter. I don't feel like there's no amount of anything bad that can go on in this world that results in punishment, like that, a death like that. There was no reason for that man to be killed like that in front of everybody.
It's just the person.
But had that been
I think.
Sorry about that.
Part of me thinks that it's very important for us to see those things, but the other part of me, it feels like those photos that or behavior, we're promoting it. Somebody somewhere is laughing.
And it had to be that cop. He was the one sitting on top of him laughing. He didn't care. Monty, what version did you get of why he was being...
So, all right, I'm sorry, I had to go turn the air conditioner on because I was starting to melt.
It was hot on that beach. It was not on that beach. I understand.
And it is. It's really hot, so I had to go turn the air on. You
could turn the air on outside.
Right. They got these little vent things in front of your cabana.
Okay, gotcha.
It's off the inside of your cabana.
Okay.
See, I'm sitting with my back towards the ocean, and
I see you.
Because I gotta keep the equipment covered up,
Okay.
So So you get it. That's what got on that man. So the unarmed black man who died Monday in Minnesota custody, cops tried to arrest him under suspicion of forgery.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Floyd, sorry. So he's now being represented by Benjamin Crump. You know, he's now famous for everything, all the way back to George.
Right.
I don't know his name, but you know who I'm talking about, the other George.
Okay.
For Tavon Martin.
What happened to just arresting me, charging me, and arresting me?
Exactly. We just talked about that last week with the, excessive force in going too far with things. And so here's what his attorney said. We all watched the horrific death of George Floyd on video as witnesses begged the police officer to take him into the police car and get off of his neck. The abusive and excessive and inhumane use of force cost the life of a man who was being detained by the police for questioning about a nonviolent charge. We talked about that last week too. We will seek justice for the family of George Floyd as we demand answers from the Minnesota Police Department. How many wild black deaths will it take until the racial profiling and undervaluing of black lives by police finally ends? So since then, all 4 of the officers that was involved in this apprehension have been fired.
Yep.
That's a first.
Right.
Now we still have to wait to see what the FBI is going to do as far as hate crime charges and federal charges of racial bias.
I just feel like they can't cover this up because it's so many different views, but it's all the same. So you can't cover it up at this point. They sat here and had a good view of it, and that man begging for his life, and that man just sat on top of him. Exactly. So I feel like you cannot cover this up.
But at the same time, this is the same thing that happened to Philando Castile. And his girlfriend had a great view of it, but because it was her camera, it was inadmissible in court. They couldn't use the footage.
That is ridiculous.
They can't do that on this one. It's so many different versions, so many different people standing around recording. You gonna tell all of them they can't be used? They was all witnesses.
That's what they said in Philando Castile's murder, and now maybe it's a different state, so it may not be the same rule. But the judge would not let that videotape that she had, and you could clearly see the cop shooting him. You see the blood, you see him fall backwards and everything, and they would not let them use that in court. And because of that, the cop got off.
But I mean, like I said, that you said because it was his girlfriend, but you know, again, it's different versions from different people that don't know that man.
Right. Well, hopefully they don't take it out of court, but we've seen too many shootings and killings.
They walk scot-free. And they walk scot-free.
The gentleman from New York that was selling the loose cigarettes. That was on camera.
Eric Gardner.
And he used a technique that was not even approved by the police department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the commissioner, their chief of police was saying too, that is not even a part of their training standards.
So, and I don't understand how he got scot-free.
The chief? Is that who you're talking about, Mecca?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Eric Garner. That's what we're talking about.
That's crazy.
So I want to play now the second video that I have in relation to this. Is their mayor speaking on the death, which, he became emotional as he was talking about it. And that intrigued me. So here he is.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
For the better part of the night, I've been trying to find the words to describe what happened. And all I keep coming back to is that he should not have died. What we saw was horrible, completely and utterly messed up. The This man's life matters. He matters. He was someone's son. Someone's family member. Someone's friend. He was a human being and his life mattered. Whatever the investigation reveals, it does not change the simple truth that he should be with us this morning. I believe what I saw, and what I saw was wrong at every level. This does not reflect the values that Chief Arredondo has hired us to build. It does not represent the training we've invested in or the measures we've taken to ensure accountability. Being Black in America should not be a death sentence. For 5 minutes, we watched as a white officer press his knee to the neck of a Black man. For 5 minutes. When you hear someone calling for help, you are supposed to help. This officer failed in the most basic human sense. What happened on Chicago and 38th this last night is simply awful. It was traumatic, and it serves as a clear reminder of just how far we have to go. To the Black community, to the family, I'm so sorry.
And that was it.
Wow.
We should have sympathy. We should have some sympathy.
I can't remember a mayor expressing that much sincere. I felt like it was sincere.
Yeah,
Like
he had a in the beginning of the video, he was like kind of choked up.
Yeah, he was choked up. He was sincere. He was choked up. He had no choice but to mention the Black community. He wasn't vague about it. He didn't, sugarcoat or try to beat around the bush about it. He was direct. He was sincere. He was honest about his feelings. I appreciate that because a lot of them don't do that. They don't even want to acknowledge it. All you hear is they're all cops aren't bad cops. Well, can the good cops tell on the bad cops because they're linked now with that?
Right.
All those other cops that assisted, they're accessories to it.
And they should definitely all be charged. And I don't mean no slap on the wrist because they knew what that man was doing, and nobody stepped in to help or even to say, "Hey, okay, let's get him up." Nothing.
I don't understand how they can continue to even be like humans and not speak out and say something, or hold each other accountable, even if it's not publicly. But hold each other accountable when they're doing things like this. At any moment,
absolutely.
I'm so glad I got to today because I have a question, and I would really like an honest answer on it too. So if you're watching something like this, okay, you got that officer that was like standing in between them and him being knelt on his neck, and you got this group of people that are videoing, not just the person that's videoing. I'm not going to even blame the person that was videoing, but is there anything, or do you believe that there was anything that anybody could have done to even help him in that moment?
I feel like no. I feel like the officer had in his mind that that's what he was going to do, and then that's what he did.
It's either that or you being up, because it seemed like it was
you're going to end up
people
dead
around. And you end up dead yourself, or you tased, or you're injured, or you going to jail.
Because if you watched it, he pulled out his gun, his mace. He was getting ready to pepper spray everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The people after they said, "Yo, he's dead," get off of him, and when they said that, he pulled it out. So he was getting ready to spray any and everybody. So he didn't care. That man did not care who got hurt.
No. And if you're going
but do you think
if you're going in police custody with them, you may be dead.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like
I see that to an extent, but do you think anybody, because as I'm looking at this video, somebody could have took that risk, dove on that officer just to get him off of him?
You're right. Somebody could have looked around. It was officers.
You may have gotten arrested, but that would have been a life saved.
Right.
I feel like people could, but if you looked at it, it was the white woman. She was trying to get to him, and the man that was standing between them, he pushed her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then it was another man that was standing next to her that was trying to get past them, and he pushed him. And he said, "Yo, you just assaulted me."
I mean,
so
I bring that up because I don't know if you remember back on, like, I think it was somebody was being apprehended at the corner of North and Fulton, and they had him pinned to the ground. And I'm just using Baltimore as an example because it happened here before, where they had him pinned to the ground. The guy actually was saying he couldn't breathe, but and there was a mob forming, and the mob actually took it upon themselves, and there was too many of them for them to identify who actually did it.
Right.
So they took it upon themselves to knock him off of him because they heard this guy screaming, he can't breathe. So they knocked the officer off his back. And it was like I said, it was too many of them to actually say, "You did it. We're going to lock you up."
Right.
Because they all.
I feel like something could have happened. Somebody could have did, or some people could have jumped in and did something. But
I don't knock the fact that we got video footage of this happening. I knock the fact that we are participating in watching the demise.
Yeah.
But at some point, I believe it's getting to that point right now where you will have mobs retaliating because even if I'm looking at this, and as I looked at this morning, I could not think of myself standing there with a camera, videotaping. I really feel like if I was in that situation, I would have
done something
that would get in trouble for jumping in because
I would have done something.
Right. I don't. I would have
threw a rock or something.
A lot of us that stand there with cameras, like it's enough.
Well, it's definitely it's starting to really get to a point where as though you cannot even do it Martin Luther King way no more. You got to be more Malcolm X. Almost it's like it's crying for it because we done marched, we done boycotted, we done got outraged, we done did all that. We passed that point.
It's just going to get to a point where as Black people,
violence,
but we're going to have to come together.
Yeah, we definitely have to come together.
As Black people, we're going to have to come together. And if we see stuff like that, we're going to have to jump in.
But it's our fault. We keep doing this. It's on us because we keep selling these T-shirts and staging these riots, and then
taking the civil behind the closed doors, taking the money that they give when you do the civil court.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take it. I'm not taking that. I wouldn't take it. I can honestly say I wouldn't take the money because all money ain't good money.
It's really not.
A lot of these people, families go and do a lawsuit, get that money, and then you don't hear about them no more.
So, in relation to this, the Minneapolis Police Department was quick to announce that no weapons were involved in the man's death. It downplayed the medical incident. I guess it doesn't matter because we already know it was the.
It doesn't matter whether the weapons is involved in
that did the deed.
It was.
No goddamn weapon.
He killed that man verbatim. He killed that man.
It was a murder. The mayor saw it. White people are outraged. I didn't see that many white people comment on something. Usually they be like, "Wow, we only got a 1 minute clip. We ain't see the whole thing. Why was he even being was he violent?" They wouldn't have did that if they ain't see something. Like I didn't see any of those comments. People are all races are outraged about this.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
Clear murder.
Absolutely. I'm curious to know
white people are tired of this shit. White people are tired of this shit too.
What'd you say, Nyiah?
I'm curious to know what you think.
Well, first of all, I didn't watch the video, and I'm not going to watch the video. I've seen too many black men killed, and this is not good for my PTSD. I haven't watched the video. I'm outraged. I feel the same way you felt. As far as having black children, black child's father, having a black father. You know, we live in America, KKKA, and it may come down to having a race war. It may come down to that. Seriously. And it looks like from what's going on, you know, a lot of people, they say there's an increase right now in blacks who are getting guns. Right now, as we speak, an increase has gone up, which is a good thing, as long as we're using them for the right reasons to protect ourselves. So
absolutely,
I feel the same way you do. I'm enraged by it.
Right. So I have a question. Do Black lives really matter?
To me, they do, but to them, no.
To our own people,
I have a question about the gun thing, though. But do you think it's necessary to have a gun, particularly here?
Absolutely, because it could happen in Maryland. There have been people that have been killed in Maryland. It's just not as. It's more affluent here.
I don't live in Maryland, but that's what I meant.
What do you mean as far as being in Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you go in certain places, it would be warranted. But
yeah, I think we should be allowed to protect ourselves, just like anybody else. Anything could happen to anybody at any given time.
I don't think it's useful. I don't think it's going to be.
I agree with you, Nate. I just don't think it's useful.
I
have a whole bunch of armed people because eventually then everybody's going to be
armed. We still have a lot of black on black crime, so I feel like that. Oh, you got a gun, it's going to get worse. But at the end of the day, I see where Lindsay's going with it.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying for us to kill each other. I'm saying for us to protect ourselves. War
outweighing regular crime.
As far as to protect ourselves, not to kill each other.
What use is it going to be if they have a whole police force behind them and you got your one gun? Like, what is that going to solve? Like, at what point they going to shoot you? They going to kill you? We've seen that happen.
Well, I already know the police are trained to kill. I don't care where I live at, and I live in a good area in Maryland, and I know they're trained to kill. So I try to keep them as far away from me as possible. But I do think it's okay to have a registered firearm in your home to protect you in case someone tries to break into your home. I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
But Maryland doesn't have
a bunch of white people trying to drive you down and shoot you down.
But Maryland doesn't have a what is it?
A self-defense law.
A self-defense law.
But once again, I don't see anything wrong with having a gun in your home that's registered to protect yourself from imminent violence. Just like the young lady that was just murdered when the police busted her house on a warrant and she shot him in the leg because she thought there were intruders bursting in and they killed her. But she was in her home with a registered firearm and was still murdered. But I'm getting a gun.
That's fighting against your point, though, because you said she.
No, it doesn't fight against my point because that's what happened to her. But me personally, I'm getting a gun. I don't care what nobody said. I'm getting a gun.
I know, but I mean, I'm fighting you about not getting one. I just don't think it's helpful.
No, I don't think it's a hurt.
There's no one busting into your house right now. No one's busting into my house right now. So
my house has been broken into.
Was needed in that because he was hunted down by people that were not police. That was just regular citizens.
One at a time. Mecca, go ahead.
I'm saying, in the fact that if Ahmaud Arbery had a gun, he would have sat there and been able to defend himself a lot better being hunted down by regular citizens. They weren't cops.
Exactly.
Stand your ground with that. Zimmerman, he wasn't a cop. If Witchcomb had a gun, it would probably have been a different goddamn situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Explain himself if he was the last man standing.
Then that would have been an open out. I mean, how many other people may have been involved in that incident too? If there was an open out gunfight in the middle of the street,
right?
Well, my thing is, we have the right. I'm sorry, but we
person be on the other end of that.
Shot in that predicament is what I'm getting.
My thing is, would you rather be on the other side of the trigger or no?
Exactly. I'd rather protect myself. I have to go out dying. I'm an American citizen. I have the right to own a gun. That's my Second Amendment right to bear arms.
Nobody's trying to take anybody's right away. The point is whether you have a gun. Philando Castile was pulling out his permit.
I hate the use of the Second Amendment right to try to prove a point.
I'm not going to. And what happened to him?
Self-defense is one thing, but you don't have to defend yourself with a gun either. Like this man, the story that this is being brought up off of, he was apprehended with a knee.
Yes.
What would your gun have been doing in that situation?
Well, I'm not going to be shooting at the police. It's just carrying.
What's the point? I mean, if that's the people that you trying to defend yourself against, then what's the point of you having?
So what is the solution?
I mean, what's the point? I'm lost in the whole conversation.
So what's the alternative? What's the other option? Because we've argued that point about to have a gun or not. What's the other option?
I think right now the option, in my opinion, is up on the table. But I think really soon you're going to start having mobs attacking police officers. Because
it's going to happen.
Soon. It's coming. A mob.
I definitely think that.
3 months ago, and now we're back here at this point again. Like at some point, we're going to have to, charge. I don't see any other way.
So you're going to charge without a gun?
If you got enough people.
That's a good question.
But see, the thing is, me in particular, I wouldn't be the one holding the gun. I think I have more leadership skills than to be the one present.
Well, then you would be Martin Luther King, and then I would.
We all have our roles here. Now we got to have if somebody's going to be the foot soldiers, then they need the guns. I myself in particular would want to diffuse the situation before it got out of hand. But I don't find myself in the process. I don't find myself in the way of having the knee in my neck in the first place. So
we don't have silent protests.
I think I would have tried to diffuse the situation.
That's what Malcolm tried. That's what Malcolm tried. And look at where we are now.
Yes.
And he had white people more on his side than Malcolm X. But look at where we are now.
Yes.
I'm with Nate. It's going to be a point where we're going to be more aggressive. Be it a mob, be it by guns. People are tired of that. I'm the only woman in my house. I'm worried about my 4 males. I am.
Yes. Yes.
I'm scared when he goes out. I'm scared when they go out.
Yep.
We are being killed for just breathing in this.
Exactly.
Somebody ain't gonna get tired of this shit at some point, and we all charge how to be a gun or a mob. Somebody's gonna get hurt because nobody's gonna keep doing this shit. This is ridiculous.
I wonder what Malcolm would say now. I wonder what Malcolm would say about it. How he would feel about it.
We're fucking animals, inhumane. They treat animals better than us.
Yes,
they definitely do.
That is so true.
It's fucking. I'm sorry, but it's mind blowing.
It is. It is. And I feel like it's gonna get worse.
I have a man. Like I wouldn't. That's the same color as me, and because they're living, they're a fucking target. This is ridiculous. It's going to get worse. They want it worse so bad. They want it so bad.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, especially if we don't come together as a race, as a community.
I think it's best to identify that we keep saying they and them and those, and we're not identifying that it's not all.
Yeah, it's not all. It's not all.
Yeah, that's why I said.
That's why I don't like the use of the word that it's going to be a race war, because it's not going to be a race war.
I said there's a potential. There's a potential for one.
Yeah, it's not all
potential because we're getting tired. A lot of Black people are getting tired.
War. It's not even a potential for a race war. It's a racism war, but not
a racism war.
Okay, well, then you understand where I'm going with
this.
That's
like putting Black people on the side and putting Black people on that side. And what do you do with all the mulatto? All of the mixed people? That just goes crazy.
Well, to me, a mixed person, they're classified as usually African American, so they would qualify as
the
a black
classification
person.
that only African Americans give to them.
I'm just tired of
But they
seeing.
still got that white
I'm just tired of seeing black kings hunted down and killed in the street, and I'm tired of seeing funerals for brothers that haven't done anything wrong. I'm tired. As a black woman, I am tired of seeing it. Period.
Absolutely. And it's starting to trickle down to the women as well.
And do something. That should charge you to get up and do something. Like vote and make sure everybody else is
I'm voting. You ain't got to worry about that. I told you that a couple shows ago. I'm voting.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's time for people to get up and make action to their desires. Like, we can't keep wishing that people stop getting killed. Like, we have to actually do something now and be active and proactive and not just telling our children how to conduct themselves in the street. Like, we got to really get up and make change.
I had that talk with my son before I had the sex talk, unfortunately. You have to. How to handle yourself when you're around police.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a conversation, not only for black men, but also for the little girls as well, because they're being targeted as well.
I had that talk with my daughter.
Yeah, I understand that. But it has to be something other than how do you handle yourself around police. There has to be something else added to that. And not necessarily the training, because we keep saying training, and yet it still happens. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be something else. Like, we need a whole new police force. I mean, if it comes to that, that's what needs.
Yeah, I agree. We need a whole new justice system.
And it keeps happening, and it keeps.
We need a whole new justice system.
Restart and start all over.
Right.
Yeah. We need to dismantle the justice system. Period.
That's a good idea.
That's what I agree with. I agree completely.
That's a good idea.
Start there. Reform them.
And it might even come down to mandatory term limits on being an officer.
Yeah.
You have to be taken off of the streets.
Right.
Do they even do a psych test?
That's what I was about to say.
We talked about that last week. But psych test, it gets you without constantly going in for psychiatric help. It really isn't going to be beneficial if you go one time.
No, it's not.
No.
But I still feel like
it's an ongoing thing.
I don't understand why that's something where they wouldn't. I don't understand why that would be something they wouldn't have involved with training. Like, you will have to continue to get training.
I think that is.
So you should be able to.
If you
I think it is involved.
You have to see someone and stuff like that, or if you kill somebody and in the line of duty, you have to see someone.
Or if you witnessed it or something like that.
But you need to continue. That's trauma.
I feel like the ones with PTSD kind of need a term, a certain amount of terms as well, like a time limit.
Yeah, definitely.
But they don't get routine training. Often, like, when things happen, they get maybe like a group professional development, but it's not an annual training session that they get outside of the police academy. Like, that's where it cuts off. So I think that needs to be one of the things that are addressed and that's brought to attention. Like, they need annual training, or pop-up psych evaluations or something. Like, it can't just be cut off after their basic training.
Got you.
Totally agree.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Okay. That was it was a needed conversation. It's a bigger conversation too, and I'm going to put that on the docket for possibly another show down the line.
Y'all let me purge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had to get that out.
All right, let's move on to a lighter note and actually talk about what you guys did this weekend. And did y'all come outside? Did y'all break the rules? What did y'all do?
I took my boyfriend to the Marriott for his birthday.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, we had
in the back room.
What did you say?
Go in the back room.
In the back room.
In the back, and your second bedroom. What? I mean, did y'all leave out the apartment? I mean, where did y'all go?
No, we went to the Marriott.
Oh, okay, to the hotel.
Yeah, we went to the Marriott. Had a good time.
It was open.
Yeah,
y'all
it's open.
Y'all. That's right. Y'all not.
Yeah, I'm in Howard County. Yeah, we went to one in Howard County. We had a good time. I made him some shrimp scampi for his birthday dinner. Got him a cake.
Cool.
We had a good time. Got him a good time,
a real good time.
We had a real good time, and we watched Nate's show, the Real Nigga Show. We watched that together. Okay. We had a good time.
And then turned the lights out and went to sleep.
None of your damn business.
Look at Nyiah's face.
I just wanted to,
You ain't getting me like that.
Anything. I was trying to figure out if the TV was
okay. Oh my God.
How was your weekend?
Well, so for the purpose of my co-workers listening, I went out of town, had a much needed sleep, rested up a little bit, and spent time with my kids, and went to a party. And by the way, when I went into the party for my niece's birthday party, I walked into the party and they was playing a game, a little card game. They was playing for me. How you playing for me and I ain't even there? So when I walked through the door, they're like, "Here's your cards." I'm like, "What?" So it was a game called Who is Most Likely To? And you pass out the cards of who person was most likely to do whatever it says on the card. And I had a little stack and I wasn't even there. So I was a little upset about that because I'm like, I'm not even here. I got a stack. And one of the cards said, "Who is most likely to play a dumb card game?" Me. And I was, but after that, I just chilled and hung out with my kids, and that was pretty much my weekend.
Mecca.
Hey, I did absolutely nothing. I cooked.
Well, what you cooked?
I cooked a lot. I cooked. We had crab legs because Giants had a sale.
I thought about I had some yesterday. I bought $35 worth, and I sat down in my basement and ate them all.
Auntie, okay.
Yum, yum.
So we had crab legs. I made a
my
salad. I made a real nice, good salad. Breakfast. That's about it. And I hung around the house all day. That's what I did. That's all.
Sounds reasonable.
I felt bad about it because I was like, I could have done something. The dishes were done.
No, don't feel bad about it.
The dishes were done.
I don't feel bad about it because that's not the only. That was yesterday for me. Let me tell you about the rest of the weekend. Okay. So Friday, I sat in here and cried.
Oh.
All day long. So somebody told me yesterday it was because of the retrograde, whatever that crap means.
Mercury and retrograde. Is that going on?
Okay.
That explains
so,
a lot.
This only happens to me. I guess it only happens to me during the retrograde because I'm not a crier.
Right.
I'm not a feeling person. So I woke up Friday laughing, but tears streaming down my face.
Oh, wow.
And it was serious because it was like stuff just kept popping in my head. Think about this, think about this, think about this, think about this. So what ended up happening is me going into the bathroom in the dark because it was too noisy. I was trying to sit by my window in my bedroom and meditate and try to just figure out in my head what was going on with me because I didn't understand the retrograde crap because I don't believe in magic. But I ended up going in the bathroom because it was too noisy. Niggas. It's outside being loud. And I went in the bathroom and closed the door, turned off the lights, and sat on the floor in the dark. One thing that popped in my mind immediately as I was doing that was to go get your journal, write in your journal, write everything that you're feeling down because you're going to forget about it. Because that's what I do. I something happens that's terrible to me. Okay, I can't let that bother me because I got a mission in the morning, and I got to go do something else. So I push it away. And I guess it all comes to a boil and just explodes on me in emotions. So that's what I was dealing with. That happened on Friday. It happened a little bit on Saturday.
Go ahead with your Scorpio shit.
But I was over it yesterday, and I went and got me some crab legs, and I was chilling.
Yes. You're a true Scorpio.
I was back to normal.
And work.
That's all I needed. I needed a little cry. A little journal. Now I wrote everything down though. I did go get my journal and I wrote everything down so I can now it's like purposely memory that I wrote everything that was bothering me down. Some of the stuff was dealing with my grandmother, dealing with someone else, dealing with the corona, all that kind of stuff. I was writing about all of that, and it was therapeutic. I believe it was therapeutic. I got onto the other side of it. It could still be happening right now, and I could cry all of this right here on this floor, but I'm fine. I made it through onto the other side. So let's get started. Let's move on to Nate's going, so I can ask him. And it was his birthday weekend, so
he turned up.
Yeah. Let's move on to the case of deliberate mistaken identity versus the park. This is an interesting one. So according to reports, now this is a nice little story. A 47-year-old man was arrested on May 13th and charged with 4th-degree sex offense. So the victim says that Brooks, I want to give you his full name though, because it's worth it. Okay, I can't find it right now. So the victim says that Brooks was supposed to introduce him to some of his girlfriends interested in meeting up with him. And a few days later, Brooks reached out and said he had someone interested in connecting and giving him oral sex. However, the victim said he picked up Brooks from the salon because he was a hairdresser. And he was working at and they could meet the woman at he's supposed to be set up to see Brooks once he got to the meeting point. So they went to the park and were meeting. The victim says Brooks disappeared with a backpack, and another person who he thought was a woman came back and sat next to him in the park. The victim couldn't make out if it was a man or a woman because it was too dark. Despite that, the victim said he received oral sex from the person who he realized was Brooks. After looking closer, the man reportedly faked the orgasm to get the man off of him. And from there, the victim told the police that he consented to oral sex from a woman, but not a man.
Oh my God. I swear I thought I sent that to you, Lyndsay. I swear I sent that to Lyndsay.
I have not seen that. So he got oral sex from a tranny and didn't know it.
Oh my God.
That wouldn't be a tranny. That would be a cross-dresser.
Okay, cross-dresser. Okay. So he got oral sex with someone he assumed was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Yeah, he purposely got dressed up as a woman to give this man oral sex.
He could be another Mr. C.
But hold up.
Like oral sex with trans.
How good is your skill of dressing up?
Wow.
How good is what?
Jeez.
I hope he ain't have an after 5 shadows.
Yes, he did. Y'all didn't see the picture of that man?
He could have. It was too dark. He couldn't see. How would he know? It was dark. So.
Y'all didn't see the picture of that man though. He had a whole full beard.
He did. He had a whole full beard and mustache.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was dark outside.
You don't feel that on your side?
But he was kind of suspect. He said he couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. So
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I'm not trying to hear that.
I'm not doing that.
It was too good. He didn't want to figure it out. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna just.
But no, he said he realized it was a dude and then he faked it. First of all, I'm not faking nothing. If I realize it's a dude, I'm not faking nothing. You gotta go. I'm straight punching you.
How do y'all dudes fake it? Because the women, I know we can fake it, but how do y'all fake it?
Yeah, don't you have to come in order to fake it?
Y'all have fluid that comes out of y'all.
Hello. Who is she accusing? Sorry. I don't dress or nothing.
How do y'all fake it? I've never seen a man fake it.
You can stop saying y'all. How do they? Let's say they.
You said you didn't want to say they.
My boo said with a condom.
In this situation, you can say they. How do they fake it?
I was told with a condom. You could do it if he had a condom on.
I cannot.
I have never heard of that. That's interesting. I never heard of a man faking. That's interesting. That's great.
Them be doing it though.
I think it was a condom.
Y'all going to a trance.
Greyhound
everything when y'all get ready
to over top of my body. Just threw me under that bus.
Y'all.
Y'all going to a trance when y'all getting ready to.
Again, look at y'all. Who's y'all person?
Money, why?
Niggas in there with the full beard talking about who is y'all?
Oh my god. Oh
so
my
it was like thug bait, basically. It was like thug bait.
Yo, that was so funny.
Somebody walking down the beach and talk about them. I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't know them.
Who is that? Yo, he had a whole bit, and I know you can tell the difference from a feminine hand from a masculinity hand. You got to know the difference.
He does have a whole beard. I don't know if you could probably.
He has a whole full beard. It's a gray beard. Oh no, it disappeared.
Yeah, it's not gonna show.
Man,
I was trying to find it so I can like show or send it to Lyndsay so she can see this dude.
I never heard of a man faking an orgasm. I'm still intrigued by that.
I guess it was dark though, because you could just go. You know,
I
know how they could do it. I can know how because it with the fact that this was oral sex, all he had to do was pull out and then act like he was,
Yeah.
Ejaculated.
I want to see it after he pulls out where it goes. So where did it go?
Well, he didn't see it.
He didn't want to do it, so he probably just if like he's saying he didn't want to do it, he just probably just turned off and just let it go and act like he let it go into a tree.
You're not about
he had a tissue in his pocket and act like he wiped off. I mean, there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it.
Oh, I've never dealt with that. No, I want to see everything.
I don't think that's true. I don't think he faked it. I think he sat there and went ahead and finished. He went and finished, and he don't want to admit it. That he liked it. It was probably the best he ever had.
He enjoyed it.
It was probably the best he ever had. He don't want to admit it.
Because that's a big hand. That's a big hand.
You ain't fake that. Come on, you like it. You like
it. You like it. A man knows what another man likes. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all know everything about men.
What'd you say, Nate?
I said women be swearing they know men.
I said I just want to see it. I want proof that is there. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? That's the funny part about it, because I don't believe that part either. I believe that he did finish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do believe he did finish. And then he was like, oh no, it's a you. Because it was not in the story. Did you leave him there? Because y'all came together. Y'all drove in the same car.
Yeah, because he's talking about, he disappeared with his backpack.
So so when he went back and changed his clothes back into himself, did he walk over like?
No, but then the story, I thought the story said that he realized it was a man and he pulled out. So at that moment he realized it was him. So you caught
on a serious note. I'm glad nobody got hurt.
Did you leave him there and call the police and they came to the park and you was like, oh, he did this?
By the way,
or did you take him home, then go home and call the police and then go back to his house and be like,
that's the question.
I'm glad nobody got hurt on a serious note, though.
That is the question.
I'm trying to figure out how this process went down. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Was you in the car, like, all to the side of your window, like, peeking to the side, like, I can't believe this just happened?
Right.
This happened. I'm calling the police when I get home. Like,
but what was the purpose of calling the police? If there was nobody there to witness,
he called the police. He called the police. The man got arrested.
He should have just shut up and not told nobody. Ain't nobody would have said nothing.
That's what I'm saying. If nobody was there to witness it, what was the point in saying it?
Why you just didn't shut up and just move on? Move
along. Let that man know. Listen, I don't swing that way. I ain't like whatever.
I didn't know. And don't talk about it.
That's why we see Chris to go to the grave.
Yeah, Put that to the grave, honey. Take that to the grave. We don't need to know that.
So DL, hello.
PMI.
Oh God, that was hilarious.
That would be
he had a full beard, yo. He had a full beard. There's no way you cannot know.
Women out here with a fucking full beard and go see.
I'm about to say that's kind of trending in the gay community. Y'all all look alike.
But if he was expecting a woman,
if
he was expecting a woman, and then so
except for that part, ain't nobody doing all of that. Ain't nobody going in the woods and changing clothes and coming back.
That's what I'm saying. That took a lot of energy. That took a lot of energy and time to be doing all that. You sat there and waited.
You better not be over 25.
You had to scheme this though.
You don't have the energy for that.
You went home. So you was at work. So you schemed this whole entire thing because you was at work first. So you had to go buy all of these accessories. Yep. I mean, you may have already had them, but you packed them for the purpose of making up this scheme to take this man to the park. And
and you had to sit there and buy
you sit here on this bench. I'm going to go get her. First of a red flag. I'm going to go get her. Oh, no, she can meet us over here. You stay over here, sir. Sit down.
Right.
Exactly.
You can meet us over here. We all got cell phones. You can raise up the light when she gets close. Raise it up to the light. She can see you from here. Because while we sitting over here by ourselves anyway, looking like lovers. And then so you was like, okay, no, all right. She said she can't find it. Okay, so you made an excuse to get up anyway to go, why are you taking your backpack, sir? Leave your backpack here.
Leave your backpack, right.
I don't want to make it feel like I'm sitting here by myself. Leave your backpack. Oh no, you need your backpack. What you got in there?
What you got in there?
So you open it
What's
up
so
and
important that you need it?
An evening gown.
You got a whole wig.
Right, a whole wig.
Yeah.
Very thick bifocal so he can't see your mustache. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how did you get in this scenario where you felt as though it was time for you, like, you to do this to your friend? This person is your friend.
Well, obviously, it wasn't too good of a friend if you did that to your friend.
Right. So I want to know what the after effects of this is. Is this man still your friend? He just gave you a whole entire job.
Yes, he did. With a full beard.
Now you can't tell me he didn't know it was a full beard unless he was handcuffed or something. Because they they don't like to fill on somebody's face
and hair and stuff.
Head and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like something.
That's not what happened here. Apparently, he was just like laying back on the.
Yeah, he had to be.
Laying on the bench like.
He had to be.
Do it, Brooks, because he thinks I thought about his name and everything. Do it, Brooks. Go for it, Brooks.
Oh my God. Not do it, Brooks. You had to know. I felt like he had to know.
I agree. He knew. Oh, he knew.
I feel like he had to know. Yes.
And why y'all sitting in the complete dark?
That's what I'm saying, at a park.
And you're supposed to be beating this girl, so you don't want to see her face. But you can't.
It was just a quick.
But again, Brooks said he had somebody for him purposely to give him oral sex.
Well, it was him.
Right, but what if it was somebody and she
so it probably was another dude.
But no, what if it was another woman, right? What if it was another woman, but it fell through. She didn't want to do it no more. So he stepped in because he didn't want to disappoint him.
Hell no. Hell no.
I'm trying to
disappoint him.
I'm trying to save this man's life in the sex effect.
No.
He wanted to be shown.
He wanted to be shown.
No.
I tried to save you, Brooks, but they not going.
No, Brooks is on his own. Let that man go by himself.
He straight wanted to be chose.
Oh, Brooks, what are you going to do with your life?
He gonna be in jail.
Ultimate
forming that on everybody else.
You know, most sex offenders don't go to jail; they just get listed.
Yep,
that's so stupid.
That's true.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And you have to be ultimately sorry for not getting any.
Especially, it's a fourth degree.
People are giving it up like ain't nobody's business.
He got a fourth degree of sex offense.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand the point of fooling somebody when it's all these freaks out here.
Right.
Right, but I bet it's because
it's motherfuckers that will sign up for that.
I think it's probably because of the potential.
Potential, my
because
ass.
he knew this person, so it wasn't like a fly by night situation where you don't know this person.
It's like a little challenge, like a little
right. It's to see if you can open somebody's eyes.
You can ruin people's lives doing risky shit for your little thrills and shit. Because you feel like getting some thrills. You're gonna ruin somebody's life. But that nigga know he knew that nigga was a man. Fuck that.
He knew.
Yep.
I don't care what nobody said. That man knew.
You're not gonna have a full goatee and that shit don't rub against a ball or something.
A baller.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not gonna feel that. You're not gonna feel that. Come on.
He knew. I don't care what nobody say. That man knew. He knew.
All right,
you got to watch that walk when he come back.
That was a good one. Let's go to number 3. Okay. Number 3 is cannabis versus coronavirus. So I don't know if you've seen the reports now that people that smoke marijuana may have a better chance of surviving the coronavirus or even getting it because something in marijuana has some kind of blocking agent that keeps it from infecting your system.
I jokingly said that in the beginning of this whole thing.
So it says a team of Canadian scientists believe it has found strong strains of cannabis that could help prevent and then treat coronavirus infections.
So we should be sticking with that exotic then. Is what
researchers from the University.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait. Let me finish the damn story. Can y'all?
You know who the smokers is on the goddamn.
One time in here. Researchers from the University of Lethbridge said that the study in April showed at least 13 cannabis plants high in CBD that appeared to be to affect the ACE2 pathways that the bug uses to access the body. We were totally stunned at first, and then we were really happy, one of the researchers said. The results printed in the online journal Preprints indicated that hemp extracts high in CBD may help block proteins that provide a gateway from COVID-19 to enter the host cells. I don't get it.
All right, everybody get that medical weed card.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I had to answer a phone call just now. Yeah,
Everybody get that medical weed card.
I about to say, so everybody about to be smoking now.
I mean,
what is about to be
for the purpose of not getting killed. I mean, I will become one.
Yeah, I would say
I'll become one as well.
You can take the pill. They got pills. It comes in the pill form.
I don't even care what form it comes in, as long as I ain't being killed.
Because that, pills almost sound like edibles, and edibles it lasts you way too goddamn long for me.
Oh,
I remember that one time.
I love it.
Lyndsay.
Monny.
Did you love it? Oh, no. You remember that night. Mecca, you remember that night. And I was so pissed because I was still gone 2 days later and I was angry.
I had to pull over like, wait a minute. Figure this out.
Yeah, I think it was. Who gave it to me? Was it you that gave me that lollipop or was it Tina?
Not a lollipop.
That lollipop. Oh my goodness.
Cookies, it was gummy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
gummy. It was fish. What's it? Fisher. What is it called? The
little Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
Honey, we was on one. I had to sit there and coach myself to breathe.
What we didn't know is that we shouldn't have been eating them like we was eating them.
Right. We should have spread it out.
We was just popping up and I'm sucking on the lollipop.
First time, I didn't know.
It was one of them rainbow lollipops, the big round rainbow lollipop.
Oh God!
And I'm just sucking on this lollipop all night long. And 3 days later, I'm still gone.
Oh my God!
And it was
Monny, the next time you come across something like that, call me.
Gosh,
oh my God!
You know they have drinkables.
I said never again. Never.
You know they got drinkables.
I've never gotten like that before.
No, but they have drinkables.
Right, but either way, the edible thing, as long as it's in your stomach, is as long as it's going to last. And I can't
Listen, my coworker gave me some of that drinkable. I was eating everything under the sun. I told her never get. So the next day came, I was still eating everything. She said, Nyiah, what is wrong with you? I said, a little goes a long way. Get away from me. I was so done. Y'all, I had 2 cheese breads. I had a chicken box. I had a pizza. I had a whole full course breakfast meal.
Woo. Oh wow!
I had so and I still was eating. I still was eating. I was hungry.
Like, this ain't even beneficial because it's like it can't get anything done.
I was hungry.
I woke up. I was like, "Oh my God, what is going on? Why am I so high?" I went to bed trying to sleep it off. Like,
I cannot.
It's like why my eyes won't open?
Drink. I don't nothing. And my dumb tail, when she be getting it, I be like,
so funny.
I be
that shit was so funny.
Right. My dumb tail be trying to get high. Woo!
I'm calling people like this.
I let it go.
No more edibles, no more ever again. No more edibles. That's out of control. Like, I don't understand that. Somebody I know just recently just did that. They had she said she had 3 Swedish fish too. And she said, I'm still high. And it was like 3 days later. Like, stop. Don't do them no more.
Leave me alone.
Oh, yo, that'd be so real, boy. That'd be so real, though.
But I don't know. That concentration might be what you need for the coronavirus, though. I'm just saying. That might be the concentration that you need.
True.
It may be something.
Now, I would take it. If that's the case, I will go back and do another edible, just, for coronavirus prevention.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you do, call me. Sharing is caring.
Well, Monty don't share.
Monty shares. Monty does share when he wants.
Occasionally.
Monty doesn't share. He doesn't have friends, and he don't share. Throw that out there.
He ain't. Well, he's got friends, but
you might get me on a generous day to share something.
Yeah, they're chosen few.
I'll keep trying. You
gotta be part of his elite organization.
So it says, stressing that more research was needed. The study gave hope that if proven to modulate the enzyme, it may prove a plausible strategy for decreasing diseases susceptibility, as well as becoming a useful and safe addition to treatment of COVID-19 as an adjunct therapy. I think they should have immediately started using it in hospitals, period.
Is this in America?
No, this is Canada.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're smart there. They're not as.
Canada is looking more and more intriguing to me.
Marijuana has all these medical benefits now. I mean, it's been tested out its ass. I mean, at this point, try everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
at this point,
used to help people with certain diseases, even lupus. So it's like you're so hooked on hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
But they use marijuana is used in treating lupus as well. So why not go that route before you went to a concoction?
Right.
That's what hydroxychloroquine is. It's a concoction.
Yes.
It sounds like a concoction. It's how we say it.
Hydrogen in it. It's got it's a concoction.
Yeah.
Jesus, what the hell are you saying?
It'll mess with your kidneys.
Right, and you could have went somewhere natural first and used a natural element, and then used it and extracted the oils from it, and probably used it to make a better.
I'm all for the natural,
or at least a treatment, because there's no treatment for it in it right now at all, besides giving you fluid and rest.
Exactly.
Well, dang.
Introduce that to me. Maybe we could have done, could have healed me up a little bit better. But I guess I'm not a doctor, so I should stop.
Well, neither is that. Well,
I also don't have COVID. Like, I'm also not a doctor, but I also don't have COVID.
Don't have it.
And don't forget, I've been right on several occasions in this past.
Yes.
I'm just giving you.
Monty was very mad. He was like, and I said that if you would listen to my show.
I know. He was listening to the show. Okay. You would know. So remember, where everybody else has COVID and I don't. It's because I use CBD oil.
Oh, God. It's a little bit of edible.
I used it so well, my eyes turned hazel. Thank you.
It's a little bit of edible.
Allegedly.
Put it in there.
All right. Here's the next story. And oops, wrong one. Sorry. So I actually think we talked about this last week, but I'm gonna bring it up again anyway. The man is lying about this man is going around telling his employer and other people that he had the virus, but he did not. So now he's facing federal charges for lying to his employer, basically about a pandemic.
Seriously?
So a Georgia man faces charges after authorities say he lied to his employer that he had tested positive for COVID-19. So Santuan Antonio Davis, 34, is charged with defrauding his employer. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta said in a news release Thursday because Davis said he tested positive. His employer had to shut down its plant for sanitizing and put several other employees on paid leave while they quarantined, causing the company to lose more than $100,000.
Wow.
All because of him.
Mm-hmm. He had his, so that's, you see why we not in my studio right now? Do you see why we not at Big Exposed Radio Studios?
Definitely see
if
why.
one of y'all get it, because it won't be me, CBD. If one of y'all get it and put it in the studio, I have to clean that. Do you know I will cancel that lease? If I have to clean it, the lease is canceled.
Oh my goodness.
Because I won't be stuck. Because as soon as they say, "Oh, you have it, you tested positive," oh no, I'm never coming back.
First of all, if you tested positive, why are you even coming in there?
Point. But no, I'm saying, but if we were open, I think I would be responsible for doing the testing of my employees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would have found out you positive.
You gotta go.
I would have been like, "Oh, I'm never coming back here ever again. I'm gonna shut this bitch down. This is it. This is over." Radio, because now radio has put me at risk, and radio is not the best.
True.
Because you better believe I'm not gonna be sitting over here, laying across the couch, talking about welcome to Talk Lately, with my voice back on a ventilator. But doing that with y'all.
You be on life support.
He had his initial court appearance Thursday and was granted bond. According to online records, a telephone number for Davis cannot be found, so he hiding. Prosecutors say Davis had since admitted he did not have COVID-19. Davis worked for an unnamed Fortune 500 company with a plant in the Atlanta area. On March 12th and 13th, the company held mandatory training on how employees could access information on its website for COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus. Employees were told they would receive paid time off during the quarantine if they tested positive. So a week later, Davis got a call at work and told his supervisor his mother, with whom he lived, had been exposed to someone who tested positive. See, here's the problem, right? I'm not the problem, but here's how he could have got away with this. To be honest, he could have got away with this. Because all he said here is that, from what this is saying, is that he said his mother had got it. So he was exposed. Not that he had it.
He had it, but he was exposed.
That he had it. He could have just said, "I've been exposed, and I also went to work today, so you also were exposed." And that wouldn't have been a lie. I mean, well, it still would have been a lie because if his mother never got exposed, then that would have been a lie. But if you know what I'm saying, but he could have got out of that had he had his facts right and his story straight before
you just said it.
I got COVID.
Why would you put that on yourself?
Sir, go to the hospital. Let's go to the ambulance. That's because that would have been my response. Let's go. Well, you need to go to the hospital. Let's see when we call your ambulance. Like, why did they even let you go after they tested you positive?
That's what I'm saying. No.
They supposed to quarantine you immediately. Like,
first of all, I think all parties was dumb in this whole situation. because if he tested positive for it, he still would have been held in the hospital or somewhere for 14 days. You would not have been allowed to walk around and go into your job.
Right.
To say anything.
So you went all the way to your supervisor's office talking about I got COVID and talking to me, not without glass being between us.
I don't even keep the glass between us. They said it's airborne, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. He was talking about I got COVID. That's what I said. That's too much.
And it's still sitting in the air.
Can you just send me a message from outside? Text me.
Exactly.
Why would you come here and tell me
all parties are faulted? All parties are faulted. You said it lives in the air for a while. All parties are faulted.
Right. Well, why would you even come here and tell me about it? Don't come to work. So
all parties. Everybody everybody fault.
So his supervisor said Davis could continue working because he had low risk exposure, but he checked out early, saying he was worried about his mother. The next day, Friday, March the 20th, Davis texted his supervisor to say his mother had developed symptoms overnight and they were waiting for her results.
Why would you lie on your mama?
The agent's statement says. So again, his supervisor said he could work because he was still a low risk. No, he wasn't. He was exposed. If his mother got it, he got it.
Why would you lie on your mama?
But Davis didn't show up for work. Over that weekend, Davis texted his supervisor on Saturday to say his mom had tested positive for COVID and that he had a fever. And again, on Sunday, saying that he tested positive. The agent's statement says. That Sunday evening, the supervisor asked Davis to send him a copy of his test results and explained that if Davis had COVID-19, the company would shut down for cleaning, and the other employees would have who'd worked closely with him would have to be quarantined.
Okay,
the
so
company's
that's where he
human
messed
resources
up at.
manager reviewed the medical excuse letter Davis sent and saw some indication of fraud, the FBI agent said in the statement. For example, it said he was discharged in November 2019.
First of all, it wasn't even.
Tell me, he was claiming that he had COVID since November 2019.
What?
Yo, that's more than 14. Yo, I'm dead.
Wow.
It says it was unsigned and didn't appear to be on formal letterhead. The company also called the hospital where Davis said he'd been tested and found out that it wasn't doing COVID tests there.
I don't even want to hear no more.
After repeated unsuccessful attempts to get Davis to send his test results, the company told him on March 25th that he'd been suspended and would be fired if he didn't send them by 3 p.m. that day.
So
Davis never responded and provided test results and had been fired.
So you went through all of that.
Right, but then, was it okay? I see why they sent it to the FBI. They ended up having to expend $100,000. I was gonna say, but you fired him. But why did y'all have to send it to the FBI? They had to send it to the FBI because Nyiah, you disappearing and stuff on my screen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, my bad.
He ended up, the company ended up having to spend $100,000. Now they're trying to recoup them funds. They're gonna sue him.
That's right. And definitely. He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money.
He was a plant worker. He ain't got that money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pension. I mean, I don't know how long he worked there unless they keep his pension.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Let me find out this is Antoine Davis that live here. All right, next story.
Oh my gosh.
Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. Oh God, I said his name. Something's gonna happen to me later on tonight.
Oh God, please not.
I'm on the beach. I see that's probably why the wind blowing so hard. So, no more coronavirus benefits is this case, and they're planning to cut off. I think we discussed this a little bit last week as well. That they're going to plan on cutting off the benefits to coronavirus people that are staying home and in quarantine. That $600 a week in extra unemployment will be because they want to force people now to return to work because as I told you, people are not going to work because
they're getting $600.
But some people aren't even getting unemployment yet to have been cut off. Some people are still fighting for it, from what I've heard.
Yeah. But they, either way, they can be fighting for it all they want, but the benefits end, and if they win, they get their back pay. But if the benefits end June 30th, regardless. So, or June July, 30th. Maybe the end of July.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that said they haven't gotten their benefits yet. They're waiting.
So it says Trump and McConnell huddled Thursday at the White House as Republicans stake out new plans to phase out the coronavirus-related unemployment benefits to encourage Americans to go back to work. Revamping jobless aid is fast becoming the focus of the debate over the next virus aid package. Currently, people filing for unemployment receive an additional enhanced $600 a week. After the Senate decided to take a pause on the new pandemic proposal, senators face mounting pressure to act before leaving town for the week-long Memorial Day weekend. The Senate also began efforts to fast-track the extension of the popular small business lending program. Republicans in the White House are reaching consensus on the need for redesigning the unemployment benefits so they are not a barrier to getting people back to work.
Wow.
What's interesting about that is that they're going to have to do something. I don't know what they're going to be able to do because they're going to have to do something. All of these businesses are going out of business. A lot of stuff is closing.
Yeah.
And it's like I was just talking to somebody earlier today, like as I was riding down the street over the weekend, I came across and it never like dawned on me. It was never on the front of my mind because I would never go back there and sweat like that again. But Sky Zone.
Oh, I had one around the corner from my house.
They popped up every day, like in a rush to get that business because it's very popular. But
they did.
Who's going there?
I won't be going there.
You know what I'm saying? Without a cure, who is going there to get sweated on? You go jumping on those things, those machines, sweating and stuff.
Yeah,
passing it along to other people.
That's infection zone. That's what that is.
Yes, yes, infection zone. Exactly.
Get infected. You go there to get infected.
Yeah.
Now, are they still open? Because I had one around the corner
closed.
of my house, and I haven't checked.
They're all shut down. But it's just like the gyms. But again, I don't care how much cleaning you do, even with the gyms thing. I cannot.
But there's no way that with Sky Zone, there's no way that you'll be able to clean like that because there's kids constantly everywhere.
That's the same thing with the gym. The gym is the same thing. You watch the treadmill, sweat just flying everywhere. And what if it hits my lip? Are we fighting? There's a fight getting ready to happen. It was already bad enough that your sweat may have hit my lip before coronavirus, but if after coronavirus the sweat hits my lip, we fighting. We gonna have it together. There's a possibility. You've been in Planet Fitness. Those treadmills are next to each other. So you sweating, and your sweat just going everywhere. And then you breathing all hard. And they're already talking about it could get in your eye.
That means you're going to have to wear whole armor.
How are you going to the gym and you got to breathe? They just said that you got
to put that little face thing.
They're already talking about not having churches, back in session because they don't want no choirs because all you got to do is produce enough of the coronavirus out of your throat with your singing. Amen. And I'm sick.
Oh my God, Monny.
No. So now imagine being in the gym with all of that coming out of your mouth, and now everybody's sick. What is going on? Like, people not focusing on this. I mean, that's one of the stupidest analogies out there, but it's a serious and real analogy. They said it can come out of your mouth if you're talking loudly up to 14 feet.
Yes. We talked
about that. If y'all not in the gym inside of a bubble,
yeah,
you're sick. All of you are sick. Because it's not coming, you doing this. It's not just coming out straight ahead. It's coming out and expanding.
Oh my God.
Because it's gas. You're just pushing gas out with oxygen. You're splitting the virus out with oxygen. Or not oxygen. What's the other one when you exhale? Carbon monoxide. Yeah. So you're pushing that out with the virus. And it's not just going straight ahead. So I don't care if they try to say, well, the treadmills are not facing each other. Hey, it's facing that person that's over there on the weights. Right. It's getting that person that's over there on the weights. It's getting that person that's running back and forth. It's getting that person that's doing the.
Now, Monty, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can it be transmitted through sex?
Yes. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they did say that.
Okay.
You can find they found it in the semen.
You're not gonna be able to do nothing.
That's why y'all should become lesbians. Hello.
Look, bro. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm open.
Don't worry about it getting sexually transmitted.
I'm open.
No, thank you. Been there, done that.
That was some CBD oil.
And there, done that. No, thank you.
No, but I see those kind of scenarios are what run through my mind. Like, you've already explained to me that if somebody even talks loud and then possibly might have it, it can get in my eye. Now imagine somebody on a treadmill, somebody lifting weights, talking about some.
Oh yeah,
that's dangerous. Like, why do y'all actually even not y'all? But why do they want to even actually go into a gym without a cure? I understand weight. You want
to have sex in the locker room,
all that kind of stuff, but you can exercise by running in the street. Give it a try.
That's right.
They want to have sex in the locker room.
They want to have
what about sex?
They want to have sex in a locker room. That's what it is.
See, that's worse. So now you got it twice. You got it from the breathing outside, and then you got it steaming in the gym.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh! Yo.
Gross.
I ain't for that. I'm not for it.
Dang, Rona don't ruin everything. You can't have sex.
You're not gonna be able to do that. You ain't even gonna be able to walk to the bathroom again because you won't catch it sitting on the
feel
toilet.
so sorry for everybody that was single before this hit.
I was
a bad state that you're in because you got like triple threats of risk on your timeline now.
Wow.
Because you got the single people that are looking for a conquest during Corona. That's that's willing to risk it all, and I'm not here for that. And then you got the single people that are not willing to risk it all, but need a little pee. And you could possibly get it from them. But then you also got the regular stuff, just the regular STDs in the net.
Yes.
Melted with Corona.
Yes.
This is crazy.
And I heard that it can, the virus can paralyze you.
What's the alternative? Like, you like, hopefully you got gonorrhea because I don't want to get Corona.
I'm not gonorrhea. Hopefully you have nothing.
But I'm saying, like, in the bottom, like you got to weigh your options. Like, hopefully you got clap or gonorrhea because I don't need to get Corona. I don't want to go to the hospital and sit in there all this time. Like, seriously,
you can't even go to the clinic. You got to do it over video. Yes, I'm itching down there. I don't even know what's going on.
You got to go straight to the hospital.
Yes, doc, I'm itching down there. It ain't too bright. But do you smell something? I don't know, doc. How you do that?
Like, you got to go in because the first question they're going to ask, do you think it's Corona?
Did you come close to someone that was infected?
I don't have the symptoms of gonorrhea. I think it's Corona.
Oh my God.
And how did you contract it? From sex.
That's sad, yo.
I ain't doing it. I'm celibate.
You remain. You are born again. As of Corona, you just became born again.
Oh my God.
I'm celibate. Nobody. I'm cool. Good.
Oh my God.
Die alone anyway, so it's fine. I can just. It's cool.
Now I'm gonna be thinking about that all night. Gosh.
So wait a minute, hold up. Let's backtrack this a few minutes. Let's just go back a couple stories. So if dude was doing this in the park,
he might got it.
He might got corona. Bodily fluid, bro.
He was patient 0 for oral corona.
You know?
Okay. All right, since y'all want to talk about her.
Oh gosh.
We didn't get into her.
Oh,
Miss Karen.
Lord child.
Let's go ahead and talk about Miss Karen.
Let's get into it.
That day in the park.
Let's get into it.
So we're talking about Amy Cooper. Amy Cooper. And I do have a video for this as well. So let me let's just go ahead and play that first. So Amy Cooper in Central Park.
I'm loving these receipts.
Thank you.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
This video has gone viral, and you're about to see why. In a part of Central Park known as the Ramble, this woman called New York police on a man who asked her to obey the posted signs and keep her dog on a leash.
Ma'am, to be leashed at all times. And she was actually standing right next to the sign that says dogs in the Ramble have to be leashed at all times.
The Ramble is a wildlife habitat popular with bird watchers like Chris Cooper. Dogs disturb the birds, which is why he was asking her to follow the rules. She refused.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
My thinking was I can sort of capitulate to this racial intimidation, or I can just do what I'm doing and continue recording.
He kept recording and captured this.
There is an African-American man. I'm in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Her false report to 911 didn't get the response she was hoping for. Chris Cooper's sister uploaded the video. Someone identified the woman as Amy Cooper, a vice president at Franklin Templeton.
Oh, you see how quickly people lie?
Yeah, she ended up losing her job, and her she lost her rescue dog too, because she had a dog that she rescued, and the rescue people came back and took the dog.
That's what she get. You gonna lie like that?
She did the most Karenest thing.
What if that man would have died behind that?
She said it's the most Karenest thing that Karen did.
Yes. Jesus.
She did the most.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know people still bird watch.
I never knew it was a thing. I never
You're
knew
going
it
to
was
be
a
that
thing.
person. You're going to be that person.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Don't be that person.
If I didn't bring it up,
I'm that person
every day, and they not on
I'm that
camera.
person. I'm that person. I claim it. Hi, my name is Nyiah. I'm that person. I claim it. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yep, I didn't even know it.
Oh, you didn't know it was a thing?
I didn't know it was a thing. I'm that person.
I'm sorry. I see birds every day, and when I see, like, I get excited. I don't get excited when I see a blue jay. I just know that they exist.
It's New York. New York has all types of artsy people.
So do we.
They like the bird watch.
I haven't seen a Baltimore Oreo in years.
Oh,
because you don't bird watch.
I'm not going to try to take a picture of it because there's a big one downtown as a mascot.
You don't bird watch. So
I see pelicans every day, so.
Oh, he bird watches.
You see pelicans every day?
Yep.
Where do you see pelicans at?
They be trying to attack me when I'm coming out with my chicken box and stuff.
Let's talk about where you see a pelican.
They be trying to attack me when I be coming out with my chicken box. I'm like, oh!
Is it a pelican or is it a seagull?
Both. They all there, all of them. That's about you.
I haven't seen. There are pelicans in Maryland, but I haven't seen one in such a long time.
Oh, they be in the shopping center waiting.
What shopping center is this?
Which one is it? Erdman Shopping Center.
Oh, over there.
They be waiting. Stalking and waiting, y'all.
Like I see more ducks than anything now in the city, like all over the place now. Like they're everywhere. There are ducks everywhere. Ever since this happened, I think they have the freedom to roam about the city.
They say y'all gotta stay in. We get
every time I come out my supermarket, there are 2 ducks, the female and a male, just sitting. Like that's not usual. Then I go to the Royal Farms with 2 ducks sitting, just sitting. Like they don't care. They don't have a care in the world. And they, ducks usually run. They usually run from you at the sight of a human. But no, they was like, pigeons, give us some advice. How do we just blend in like y'all do?
They don't care.
They don't care.
No.
So they took her dog from her.
That's what you get.
I mean, I don't.
She don't need one.
I
you go there for, oh my God, they're protecting me.
We're insensitive because of the racial part. But us pet owners,
no, because
she said, for me, I would be devastated.
But she lied though. She said that man was attacking her and her dog, so that's her fault.
No, I get it. No, I'm just saying they took her pet from her though. I mean, I'm not trying to defend her. I'm just saying, as a pet owner, I would be devastated if somebody came knocking on the door.
We de-pet you.
The way you talk to mama, though. The way you talk to mama.
They should think that.
I'm not even getting to that. I didn't hear nothing.
I will open the door.
Oh, Monny.
Yeah. I don't abuse my cat.
Who?
I have proof. I've heard him say he beat her ass.
Yeah, call her a bitch. I've heard it.
I mean, but to have your door have to be open, like somebody knocking on your door, and you be like, "Who is it?" They be like, "Peter."
We come to de-pet you.
They open the door and they be like, "You racist bitch! Give me this dog back. Have a nice time." And they just walk away. With your dog, you would be standing there with your mouth dropped open and devastated that they just your pet that you become accustomed to.
Dog.
But in the video, I think they probably took that pet from her the way she strangled that dog trying to call the police. That's really why they took the dog from her. He was flopping around, growling, like, "Oh, bitch, you choking me!" And all this shit could have been avoided if you would have just put the leash on the dog and followed the damn rules. That privilege is not going to stop this.
Exactly.
And he said, if you would have just put the leash on the dog, this could have been avoided, and I could have continued watching these birds.
I'm not trying to watch no bird show.
I mean, he had pictures and everything. Like, I'm serious about this. This is a bird watching conservatory, and this is what I do. Like, I don't have another job. What else do you do, Scott? That's it.
I cannot, like.
You know he didn't do that type of you know damn well.
I mean, there is a career in it. I mean, he maybe even sends his pictures to the National Geographic.
Yeah.
I cannot, yo.
First of all, I really didn't. I guess I just didn't know black people did it.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
See, I know it was a thing. It's a thing, but it's usually people that live in like maybe the Amazon and
like suburban areas,
Alaska, where there's rarely a bird.
He lives in New York. He might be a photographer.
There's a suburban areas, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we keep hearing, that he might be a photographer.
Okay, well, I would have went with that. Then I'm bird watching.
I mean, I'm not going to knock his career choice because he probably make more money than all of us. I mean, he can do that in the middle of the day while she's walking her puppy.
So that's probably what he was doing on that particular day. Then the next day, he probably was doing, watching.
I mean, you got time to bird watch during a pandemic, so you
I guess you can't catch the corona from a bird.
Well, he gonna
get you can catch it from anything.
What's the
bird he was watching? He probably can get
that
it
was swine flu, right? The bird said the swine flu. No.
Yeah, I think it was. It was what?
N1.
N1.
Yeah, the H1N1.
H1N1.
Oh, that's what they had?
So
I thought that was the swine.
Bird flu.
Swine flu was from, I
so
believe,
he would rather
or cow, no, the pigs or something.
Right,
so
but
he would rather.
That's what was transmitted through the mosquitoes, right? The swine flu.
Yeah, the swine. I thought that's what the swine flu. Zika.
No, that was H1N1. Zika. That's what it is.
Yeah. So he would rather take his risk catching the swine flu versus the corona.
Whatever which one it is, we don't know if it's a swine.
I can't believe that y'all still believe that man was out there watching actual birds.
I don't think that man was bird watching.
Pictures. He showed pictures of the birds he was watching that he was taking.
That's probably. That was probably the last.
And he was in in the bird watching conservatory. So I mean, you only could guess that he was taking pictures of birds. I mean, if he said he was watching birds, I would get pictures were from him.
We can take that narrative in this situation.
I mean, he was in the bird conservatory.
Okay.
And that's so the place that he was in. She was like, so let's talk about how it happened. All right. So
yeah. Okay.
You in there, you watching birds.
What's that? Nice tea.
So you watch birds.
Yeah.
No!
Watching the birds. You watching the birds.
Yes.
And here she come with her dog. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Bitch, if you don't put that dog on a leash.
He messed up his concentration.
You getting all the birds away, and they can see me now.
Oh shoot! What'd she say, Monny?
You getting all the birds away, and they can see me now.
Was you incognito with that big ass camera? It's like they don't see you.
I'm bird watching. You bird watching. Taking pictures of birds with an iPhone 4.
She said with an iPhone 4.
I'm not here for this. All right. That's what I said. We can just go with what you said. You was bird watching, right?
I cannot. Okay, so
but
listen.
That's not to take away that she offended him, and
well, she took it too far.
Yeah,
she took it too far.
Tried to ruin his life.
Right.
She took it way too far. That's why I said he could have ended up killed. That could have been another story.
And she wasn't an underling at her job. She was the vice president of something or another.
She ain't vicing nothing else.
She got fired because they don't tolerate racism.
Exactly.
In the middle of the Rona,
as they should.
She got fired.
Right. Like, damn, how you get fired? This is literally, you were fired on your day off, bitch.
Next Friday.
And she was so bold and just threw her whole little title out there. Like, first of all, no, you want to figure out who I am.
Right, but I am
such and such, and I am the vice president.
I think if I was that person and all of a sudden the person that I'm involved in this argument with would pull out their phone and start recording me, I think I would just walk away. Like, I would have definitely walked away. Like, what is my point for trying to argue with you to stop recording me?
I would have definitely just walked away.
Yeah.
Because there's no purpose.
Initially, your thing was stop recording me. If you stop recording me, I won't call the police. Leave. Why are you still here? I have not completed my bird watching. I still have some motion in this ocean.
Because it's not a thing, and she didn't believe it was a thing, so she just called the police.
Right.
The part that I'm confused by, like, was the dog bothering him? Like, was the dog over there by him? Was the dog like nipping at him or barking?
That's what I'm confused on. Like, how did this whole thing? Like, how this?
Well, in the bird watching conservative.
Mm-hmm. I say that.
You're not allowed to have your dogs off the leash and just roaming up because it disturbs the birds.
So did he say something to her?
Right. So apparently, as he was watching the birds, I'm not going to do the motion again, but you get it. You know I'm doing it right now.
Look at me.
Go ahead. He was watching the birds. Apparently, the dog came in and must have barked and scared some of the birds away.
Right before he finished watching birds.
While he was watching the birds.
What do you get out of watching the birds? They're not doing nothing but flying
ejaculation.
Around.
What? Ejaculation.
She asked the question. Y'all didn't hear it?
No.
I mean, I was
He
expecting
said, what
that
did you
answer.
get out of watching the birds?
But I was not expecting it.
Wouldn't you be mad if somebody interrupted your bird watching? Nyiah, what wouldn't you be mad?
Nyiah, I mean, really, like, if somebody came,
I was really trying to get this man the benefit of the doubt for his bird watching for real.
Why would you do it?
For real, his bird watching.
Because I be exposing everybody else. I was trying to get him the benefit of the doubt.
But I part of me feels like he was being a Karen in this situation.
No, he wanted his privacy.
He said, so she offered it. Amy offered an apology. She said, I sincerely and humbly apologize to everyone, especially that man, his family. It was unacceptable, and I humbly and fully apologize to everyone who's seen that video, everyone that's been offended, everyone who thinks of me in a lower light, and I understand why they do. When I think about the police, I'm such a blessed person. I've come to realize, especially today, that I think of the police as a protection agency. And unfortunately, this has caused me to realize that there are so many people in this country that don't have that luxury.
That's the part that
She not had gotten caught, had she not had gotten fired or caught, she would have never apologized.
She was forced to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was forced to do the apology.
It's more than accountability, but I mean, she had to take more than that because this is probably going to haunt her for the next year or
the rest of her life.
When trying to get a job, and she's going to have to lay low for a little bit. Like probably she might have to go ahead and change her name to Karen so she can get her life back.
Oh my God! I didn't This Karen thing is really real. Like, did y'all see the one about the lady who called for the kids playing in the bouncy house?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, she called the police. So the police officer actually made a video and said,
She was
just
frustrated.
wasting my time. She was actually wasting my time to come out here for some kids that wasn't even bothering you. That was playing in the bouncy house. Like, it was crazy. These people ain't got nothing to do with their time. These Karens. I'm so glad I'm a Nyiah, not a Karen.
We all got a little Karen inside of us,
don't we?
I wasn't trying to admit that, but
if that's what a Karen is, I was definitely one this weekend because I definitely called them.
Right, Monny has talked about getting people evicted.
Yeah,
people have no place to live
He's
now.
I am not a Karen. Videos of crackheads in his front yard.
I'm definitely not a Karen.
I pay too much money for my property, and I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt of bringing my property value down. That's just not going to happen.
And Monty, he been business when trying to get his trash can back.
So, okay, I'm going to move on to some Baltimore stuff because over this past weekend, over 128 calls was made to the Baltimore City Police Department for illegal gatherings, and I hate to let you know that I was one of those 128.
After you said you wasn't going nowhere.
No, I was one of those 128 calls.
Yes.
Money.
And I
am not getting you. Listen to me.
Nate.
Wait, hold on. Matter of fact, I want to be the only one on the screen when I say this. You listen to me. I will not be getting sick.
Excuse me, Monty. Can I get a solo real quick? Because I just got 3 seconds.
Go for
tell
it.
me when it's solo.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, they don't like you. Go for it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Wait a minute.
Okay, not yet. Hold on.
It kicked us out for a second. Hold on.
Go.
Let me get back. It kicked us out. It kicked you out. All right, go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
Let me explain to you. If you are my neighbor and I see you grilling and there's more than 5 people in your backyard,
I'm calling the police.
I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it I'm also going to call 311 and 911 because you are breaking the ordinance and you are breaking
You
the
are causing
rules.
uncertainty to my health.
Yes, and I feel nervous and scared.
Let me tell you. Switch to me. Hold on. Switch over to me. I sat in here and I listened to every person that knocked on the door.
He actually watched you. He actually watched you.
Really?
Look, I'm in the basement. The window's right there, so I heard it.
And he probably has a camera at the door.
You probably thinking, so maybe people left and came back. No. Because you then enough people got there, you turned the music up and you thought it was time to have the house party.
Whew. Well, I did not call the police because I got neighbors, they stay their asses in the house.
No.
We don't go and do nothing.
Oh,
and I won't get nothing.
You must live in the good section
I'm trying to figure out that I'm not getting it. Not getting it.
You must live in the good section of town also.
Yes. We don't bother each other. We stays in the house.
So it says Baltimore police responded to over 100 calls for illegal gathering over the weekend as coronavirus-related restrictions were relaxed at the state level, but the city remained under a stay-at-home order. No citations were issued in response. See, that's what the problem is. Hit them pockets and we can maybe get some order. Issued in response to the 128 calls, officers responded with minimal police action, said Detective Donnie Moses.
Moses.
Each district received calls about people violating various state and local orders intended to stop the spread of COVID-19, the upper respiratory disease caused by the coronavirus. Governor Larry Hogan lifted the statewide stay-at-home order Friday, but Baltimore Mayor Bernard C. Jack Young signed an executive order to extend the restrictions, including prohibiting gatherings of more than 10 people. So once I heard 11, it was like, it's time to act. And I was like, yes, 911. I love calling them.
Oh my God, you are so petty.
Hello.
Oh.
What y'all doing? Oh, it's a party over here.
Oh my.
That's
Avenue.
Why we can we get him on the phone?
I think it's like 100 people in there.
Oh
no, I'm concerned.
Is that at
I feel like I got a tickle. I'm concerned.
What is happening?
Okay.
One's on the phone, the other one's calling our
neighbors.
What is he doing, Nate?
I'm gonna point it out to y'all.
This is so ghetto. Ooh, child, ghetto.
What is he fussing at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who got it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Call me back if you need me.
Tell him the Rona's out. He has to stay away.
What is he fussing about?
Nate, where are you? Are you home?
I'm home now. Yeah.
You say you down the hill. Go up the hill.
What he say to you?
He was telling me how to get rid of the coronavirus.
Because he looked like he was fussing and everything.
See, I was doing my street thing. You got to record that. That's a recording. Put that on the blog.
You are so nice.
All right, let's talk about these polling locations because I got a list for you guys. Actually, it's actually already on the screen, but
polling locations.
Let's go. Not polling. I'm sorry, drop-off locations for your ballots.
Oh yes.
I just wanted to go through the list and actually give you guys the complete list verbally as well.
Are these just in Baltimore? In the city?
Yep, just for Baltimore.
Not Baltimore County.
Oh, sorry. I guess you could probably go to one if you got a ballot and drop it off.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works. So the first one is at. I actually don't know where it is. I lost all my direction from working at transportation all those years ago, so I don't know where anything is anymore. Mount Pleasant Church and Ministries at 6000 Radke Avenue in Baltimore, 21206. I know where this one is, though. Emerson High School, 501 North Athol Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21229. You can also go to University of Maryland at Baltimore Community Engagement Center at 1 North Poppleton, Baltimore, Maryland, 21201. Dr. Carter G. Woodson School, number 160, 2501 Seabury Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21225. And then you can go actually straight to the board of the Baltimore City Board of Elections at Benton Office Building, 417 East Fayette Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202. Again, they're right over there on the side of your screen if you need to get more information on them. Last story for tonight. Nate, this will actually, I guess, feed into you a little bit because Maryland budget panel has approved $120 million in spending cuts, with more to come. So I guess this is behind your little $580 million bill that was, cut or vetoed anyway. The state doesn't have any money. Maryland Spending Board approved $120 million in spending cuts for Wednesday.
I'm really curious as to what are they approving?
They're not approving anything at this point. Nothing's going to be approved properly for the next year. They got to make this money back up.
Yep.
They is. Yep.
So it says here, 120 in spending cuts on Wednesday, and warned that deeper cuts will be necessary to cope with the financial fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. The Board of Public Works signed off on the cuts, which largely involved money that was sitting unused for the budget year with that ends on June 30th, but also reduces the state's contribution to the Washington area metro system by $35 million. So they're not even gonna pay for the metro anymore.
So that means the prices are going to go up for the metro.
Say that again.
So that means the prices is going to go up for the metro.
In DC, that's their problem. That's the part they're talking about. They're talking about all the bus lines that run through PG and Montgomery County. The metro don't come all the way here, so it don't matter.
Yeah, but that may affect the MARC train.
Possibly, yeah. So it says, combined with the federal assistance and tapping into the state's rainy day fund, the state should be able to make it to June 30th without further cuts.
June 30th?
We have sufficient funds in the rainy day fund to get us to move forward through this year and to the beginning of next year. But he warned that deeper cuts will be necessary for the next budget year, which begins on July 1st. That's when he said that the state will need to do some critical decisions, some critical decision making. The state is facing the twin financial dilemmas of increased cost for responding to the pandemic and plummeting tax collections as Marylanders lose their jobs. Yeah, that's a good point. Without no state income, there are no state income taxes going in. There's nothing to pay for anything. Not to mention they're going to have to start subsidizing that unemployment fund if they cut it.
Yep.
If the Fed stop paying it. Because that fund is getting ready to be tapped. The state's fund.
That's crazy. You think they're going to start tapping on the food stamp?
That the state could collect between $925 million and $1.1 billion in less taxes than expected by the end of June. It's a lot of money. That's $1 billion.
That is a lot.
Losses are predicted to continue, with the state potentially missing out on $4 billion in taxes in 2 years.
That's why they send everybody back to work.
Yeah. So your program might never get launched, Nate.
Oh.
I don't. It makes me angry to think that what's his name, Bezos, is not going to do anything. He's not going to help any of the cities that his warehouses are located in.
I haven't researched that. I don't know if he's a part of the gang of billionaires that are giving him money. I haven't seen anything that he's, actually said he was doing in regards to giving out money, like, not Whoopi, Oprah and Mark Cuban and Bill Gates and there's a couple other billionaires that are actually helping. Oh, the current chairman of Disney, he's giving out a couple $100 million.
And I don't want to spend his money. I'm just saying he has benefited a number of times over for the tax breaks that he's been able to get housing his warehouses all over the United States. And I even in the midst of this pandemic, his profit margin has definitely increased over and beyond what it should. I hate to say should, because I don't want to say put a cap on somebody's success, but I'm just saying he should feel obligated to at least look at what he would have had to pay over the course of how many years that he's been in each city and say, you know what, I'm going to give half of what I would have had to pay back to each one of these cities so they can avoid bankruptcy.
Is this a hope?
Around the country,
you would hope he have done that, or he should have done that. You would hope he have done that, or he should have done that.
He wouldn't even feel it. He wouldn't even feel it.
I mean, because the only reason why I asked that question, because I'm a coin hawk too, and as long as my employees are being paid, everybody's being paid. I do believe he should have gave. If he's not doing it, they all should be getting hazard pay. But
he's giving them incentives to continue to work. That doesn't.
But I mean, throughout this all, they're the ones that have not been mostly affected by the shutdown because they were still working, and they became front workers. What do they call it? Front end workers. Frontline. Yeah, frontline workers through this whole entire thing. So they haven't really, suffered as much as other people have suffered that have actually had to go to unemployment and get jobs,
right,
or find new employment. So,
but as you said, once people stop spending as much,
I guess that would be in his column. Well, I kept everybody at my company.
Well, because you benefited from the pandemic, so that couldn't even be an argument for me.
True, I agree. I'm just saying that's what he might say. I kept everybody employed. Ain't nobody get laid off. Everybody got hazard pay. Everybody got to keep their jobs. Everybody, everybody was safe.
But see, the difference between him and the regular mom and pop businesses, they were not receiving tax breaks to stay afloat, so they could afford to continue to pay people in this. He was basically dipping in the.
I don't understand why we continuously blame somebody for.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
No, I'm talking about the tax break thing. Everybody keep bringing up the fact that he gets tax breaks. It's good business that he set it up that way. Like, it's not my fault your state didn't want me to pay taxes because they wanted my business to come there to employ your people, mind you.
That's an issue in and of itself. But I'm saying, as somebody,
because if I didn't come here, your people would still be unemployed.
That's true. What has he added to the community, though? What has he added
jobs.
to the community?
Jobs to the community.
No, that's. I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. That's just like the Asian man.
It's not enough for you. You don't work there. It's enough for them to get their paycheck.
It's not benefiting the government.
It's benefiting their food on their tables.
See, that's the problem in a moment like this. This is not just a regular.
How was that the problem? They were starving at first. They didn't have jobs.
I think making a joke of this is really sad.
I am not even making a joke. I'm serious in the heart attack, although I'm laughing. They got jobs. They got to go to work.
It's not just a special population of people that are going to suffer from this. It's going to suffer unless you got millions in the bank. You're going to be affected by this, either directly or indirectly. I just don't find that funny And it's not even I fear for my
What part is not funny? Let's just break it down. What part is not funny? Because I like to end the show on this stuff.
Because we're heading towards another depression. That's not going to be fun for anybody. And even if you got stocks and bonds, all of that stuff is going to be null and void when the country crashes. It's not going to mean anything.
But see, the funny part about it is that the country's not going to crash. They're going to let the states crash.
That's crazy. I can't see how people can watch people suffer like this and not feel
any type of remorse. Right.
None at all. You sitting on an island somewhere getting hand treatment, like just getting the best treatment, and your employees could possibly not have a business to go to.
Or be dying.
Yeah, or dying. If it was
but
just
again,
about
we don't
money,
know that he hasn't done anything. So let's still fix that because he could have done a lot and not said anything. Not everybody. He's not the one for publicity. I do know that about Bezos. He could have done a whole bunch of stuff and not told anybody, or just went under the radar, or did it through the Amazon Foundation or whatever.
But in the beginning, they wasn't even shutting down the location. People were physically getting sick. And until they made it public, then he did something about it. It's just weird to me. It's weird. It's weird that people are selling face masks before everybody at least had one. It's just weird to me that some people still don't have them.
That's capitalism. That's how capitalism works.
Yeah. Did he freeze?
He did. Everybody wants a buck. Well, let's leave it there because I'm out of stories. One, but and is he still talking? Oh, no, he's still frozen. Thank you guys, Nyiah, Mecca.
Thank you.
With her mic off for the longest time. I just want you to know that I noticed that.
Honey, I had a whole 4-year-old over in here and I had dinner. I'm sorry. It's Taco Tuesday. I'm sorry. Y'all done heard a lot of eating.
Lyndsay, Nate, it's all been fun.
Yes, always.
Depending on how the next 24 hours go, we'll decide if we're back again tomorrow night. So
yes.
Alrighty.
This was a wild 72 hours.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Definitely.
We covered a lot tonight. We went through,
definitely. It was fun.
George Floyd. We went through.
It was definitely informative.
Dressed as a woman giving head in the park. We did that.
It wasn't a woman.
That was a whole dude with a beard.
Dressed as a woman giving head in the park.
With the whole beard. You can't forget that.
Because she didn't get
What was that?
I don't know, but you can't leave that part out. That man had a whole beard. We're not skipping past that.
Miss Amy Karen Cooper.
Yeah.
And we gone through a lot tonight. So yeah. God willing, we'll be here tomorrow, everybody. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and this has been another Talk Lately news with no filter, apparently. And have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Mecca hung up.